What's up, fight fans? Greetings from the Wrestleverse. Joe's Billy here,
This is T-John.
and it's time to take it to the ring. All right, so on this episode of Wrestlecap, we're going to be reviewing NXT 2.0. And this was a great episode, man. What did you think, T-John?
Oh, bro, this was the best episode of the week by far. I don't see Friday Night SmackDown doing anything like to up this. I don't see any event really doing anything on this one. Yeah, I'm shocked at how good it was. Like just how it started to how it ended. Like NXT, man, NXT is putting on a show, bro. Like
We kind of touched on, I think it was last week or the week before, but NXT has been giving WWE, SmackDown, and Raw a run for their money. I think it's 2 weeks in a
been the
row. It's
most
been more
consistent.
entertaining than both episodes.
Yeah, I completely agree. They have been the most consistent promotion to watch so far. I'll be completely honest. For a promotion that like does this week in and week out, the same way that Raw, SmackDown, and all like AEW, all of them are doing, they are consistently like killing them right now in terms of entertainment.
And some great talent, man.
Yes.
I love the Creed brothers. They're pretty new. They haven't been around for very long. And Diamond Mine scooped them up real quick, and I think that was a really smart decision on their part. And I just love their style of wrestling, man.
Oh man,
That was the first
I
fight card
gotta
of the night.
say it. Yeah, exactly. What a way to start it, bro. I mean, from the jump, like as soon as the commercials were over, just starting it, these guys just started teeing off on each other. You got the Grizzly Young
It
Veterans.
was
Yeah, I mean, they were
great.
talking trash on the ramp, and Creed Brothers don't waste no time, man. I mean, they went after them. It was awesome. It was an awesome, awesome match.
Yeah, and they just fought all the way into the ring, and then finally Brutus got in there, and they just kind of, man, it was great. He had some great slams, really showing us not only how strong he is, but explosive, man. And I love seeing that sort of
Explosive is the
wrestling.
best word. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they made some big comebacks too because the Grizzly Young Veterans kind of pulled a lot of dirty tactics that fight. I mean, smashing his
Yeah.
throat in the
And that
bottom of the
was
ring.
after like a little throat jab, that the ref really didn't see. And from there on out, man, he just concentrated on his throat.
Like they picked the weakness to like, try to, take him out. And I mean, even his brother Julius was like going in on them for a little bit, and they had to pull him out, doing anything to kind of like stop their momentum because the Creed brothers just were in control of this match. Like it was completely one-sided, man.
This was fantastic. I'm so glad you
Favorite
got a
part
good
of it.
shot of it. I've never
Had
seen
to.
anything like that before, and the crowd just erupted. It was
When I
so
saw
cool.
this,
Yeah, Judas just came running up on top of his back and then a big superplex. Oh, loved
when
it.
I saw this part, as soon as I saw this, I just had it in my mind. I was like, take these men out of NXT now. Put them into like Raw, SmackDown, something. Put them in the big leagues because they're ready. Once
How
they hit this,
creative.
it was over. I was like, they've convinced me. I don't care how inexperienced they are, they're ready. Like they're phenoms right now. They're doing
Yeah, they can
so
do nothing
great.
but go up.
Yeah, like their path, like their trajectory is like almost like 100, like a 90-degree angle. How fast they've caught on to this sport and how it works, how the game is played is like amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like they made a fan out of everyone. Like you said,
Oh,
the crowd erupted.
they really did. And I've been a fan since they first appeared. And they're new to NXT. And we've mentioned before, they're not new to wrestling. They're collegiate athletes. They wrestled over at Duke. They have their own records and achievements and trophies and stuff they've won over there. And they're fantastic, man. This you got to see some great belly to back body slams, just really traditional hook and scoop fireman carries. It was just so much fun. It reminded me of like when I was in high school wrestling, and I love watching them because they have such a good blend. Like we were talking about with Gable and Otis.
Yeah,
Similar.
that's
I'd
exactly what
love
I
to
was
see
about to
that.
say. It's such an interesting dynamic that we haven't seen in a while when it comes to that style of wrestling. it's that Kurt Angle kind of bring back. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And the fact that Chad Gable and Otis are doing it, and now the Creed brothers are doing it, it's like it's not this boring way of wrestling that we all kind of assume that it will be. You know, it's not gonna be always these high flying corkscrew twists, jump midair flips, all that, you know, that we're so used to seeing now. But this kind of style where it's like this technique and like this skill, but it's just fast paced and they're able to just
Yes.
like twist it so that it's still fun to watch. That style has now become like an instant attention grabber because you don't see it as much, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, when you get to see 5 or 6 belly to belly takedowns, just one after another, it reminds you of like Brock Lesnar's, Suplex City. It's just one
Yeah.
after another, or Wardlow's just power bombs slamming someone.
Super intense, but they're also not that big. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
they're not overly stocky people. They're still, you know, building into their bodies because they're so young. And it's
But
just
so
really
strong.
impressive to see. Like Keith said, man, it reminds him of Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it. I can
Yeah.
definitely see it. And I just think that these two are going to be amazing. They're gonna go so far in the wrestling world. Like this is gonna be a very short tenure. If they keep this up, they're gonna get the call up very,
Oh
very soon.
yeah. I
Yeah.
100% concur. And let's not focus just on them, because the grizzled young vets put up a great fight. There's some tough guys too, you
That
know.
is true.
But even in a street fight, I still see Creed brothers whooping them, and that's what they did in
Most
this match,
definitely.
man. They took that
Yeah.
and they're moving on to the final bracket, and I
Yep.
loved it.
Got the pin. I mean, he hit him with like this life ending like lariat, just put him out. There was a lot of bad intentions in that one too. It was boom, like had him done. Like once he hit
Oh
him with
yeah,
that, there was no getting up.
Julius was over there. He was ready to. He got pumped up. He pulled the straps down. He was ready to go in there. And Brutus was like, no, 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 no. I got
Like I
this.
got
I
it.
got some payback, man. He's been messing with my throat the whole match. And he
Exactly.
just put the
Pause.
fury of God into him, man. You saw his soul just like took that 3 count, man. And I was excited. I was like, yes, they're
Yeah,
moving on.
like
I'm
you
so
said,
excited.
I thought that it was fitting that he was able to end it just because of all like the damage that he got, because he did get most of the damage when it came to like
Yeah,
the
he did.
fight. So for
Yeah.
him to be able to get that gratifying like pin, like that was a good way to end it. I see them like they're kind of my favorites. Got to
Yeah.
say it, they're my favorites to win it, and I wanted
You know,
MSK to win in the beginning, and I kind of was like, yeah, screw Creep Brothers, but now their performance, they've swayed me. I'm full on thinking they're gonna win.
well, really think about it. They're brothers, so they've been wrestling their entire life. So it's very similar to like the Rhodes brothers. Cody Rhodes and is it Dustin? No, I think it's Dustin Rhodes, his brother. Don't quote me
Dusty,
on that, the taller guy.
yeah, you're good.
But yeah, they've been wrestling their whole life together. So you talk about tag team chemistry, and the Creed brothers have that as well. They've been together and from a region where wrestling is as big as football is in Texas. So that's just their life. That's what they
Yeah,
do. And that's a lot of great things. I'm excited.
yeah, I'm definitely excited. Keith said if Kurt Angle was watching this, he'd have been proud. Oh, dude,
Oh
he needed
yeah.
a cold shower if he watched that. Like, I know for a fact he got way too excited at this match. Like, he was gonna have to cool off after that because that was like all like picturesque of his style for sure. But it
I
was it
loved it.
was awesome, man. I really enjoyed it. But I also enjoyed this next match, man. I gotta say, I love Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu and Tiffany Stratton went at it, and you can see it here. Like you already see the beef. Tiffany Stratton is pissed
Yeah.
because Wendy Chu had that card, went on a shopping spree with Amari Miller, like
Talking about a slap
still
in the
maxed
face.
out that card. Yeah, oh man, and she was just like, I don't have it anymore because she like dumped it in the garbage once like they maxed it out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dirty,
so
dirty. So I love that Miller was still able to go on a shopping spree. And it's just it was such a slap. But Tiffany, she came in and really showed us she has some moves, man.
yeah, yeah, she really does. She's a definite threat. But man, Wendy Chu, man, I'm a big fan of Wendy Chu. Like I just
She's
love
fun to
the
watch.
style, man. And she is fun to watch, and it's so weird. Like I said last time she was in the ring, bro. It's like the things that she does. It's surprising that it translates that well in a fight because she's in this sleepy attire. She has this lethargic attitude. It's kind of like in them old kung fu movies, that drunken monkey style where they're like, oh,
Yes.
it's like reminiscent of that, where it's like this stuff should not be happening, and she's just making it happen, and it's just super entertaining to watch. But
It
like
kind
you
of
said,
reminds me
man,
of Orange Cassidy in AEW with his sloth style. He does the kicks
exactly
a
that the
dude, and
cat,
that really
yeah,
just kind of like, this is really fun to watch, even though it doesn't make any sense. So
and
I
that's
think that's kind
exactly
of
it.
her thing too, and I love the entrance music too. The kind of sleepy time techno music,
It
super
all
cool.
matches
She's
her.
a ton of fun.
Matches her. I'm a really big fan of her style, man. But I'm also impressed with Tiffany Stratton. I mean, you got to see it a little bit here, man. She's a monster. She
Dude,
shouldn't be able to do half the things that she does with her size. Like she's so tall, but she's
she's
flipping all
big.
around the ring, getting super high up. Like she was just stomping on her chest, just
Yeah,
really
she did that
mauling
little
her.
cheerleader front flip somersault, whatever it is. I'm not a gymnast. I don't know what they're called. And then just like it went right into like a double stomp. It looked just like something a cheerleader would do. And then she
Yeah,
just comes out with this brute strength right there in the corner when she jumps off the ropes and just, I mean, holy cow, man.
yeah. She has a lot of strength to her. I mean, I know like her promo right before, there was a lot of hype around it just because you got this like this gymnast slash cheerleader slash, like she had a bunch of different accolades already, and
CrossFit.
now she's coming in, yeah, CrossFit. So she's an extremely strong person. Like she's
Yeah.
extremely athletic. And don't get her character fooled, because the character will have you think she's just a little prissy, spoiled girl. But in reality, she will put you to hell and back just in like
You,
10
you could be
seconds
both.
with her strength. Yeah,
You could
exactly.
be both.
And you don't really see that with that kind of character. Like usually
Yeah.
that kind of character will get housed. But she's bringing another interesting dynamic, and she surprised me when she got the win the way she did. It was kind of easy, you
Yeah.
know?
She did kind of make light work, and even though like you made me break a nail, and then just went into pummeling her.
Nah, man, I definitely like I was impressed. I'm
Yeah.
impressed with Tiffany Stratton because she's that this was only her second or third match.
I
You
think it
know,
was her second because
yeah,
that was when Sir Edward and we went to NXT was her debut
yeah.
and he fell in love. Like he went on his Instagram and he's like, she still hasn't accepted my DM.
Dang. Well, I hope it works out for him. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a hell of a tall
She's a
order
local.
to. She is
Yeah.
still even worse. Good luck. Good luck, Sir Edward. I don't know if you can pull it off, but I'm rooting for you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but next up, we got another interesting development, man. Who saw this coming? Joe Gacy and Harlan look to be recruiting this new guy, man, Draco Anthony.
Yeah. Did you see Draco the whole time? He was so standoffish. She's like, what the hell is going on? The whole
Kind of
time he
was
had
like,
his
I
hand
don't
up.
know.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, because they're creepy. If we're
yeah.
being completely honest, they're a creepy
Yeah.
duo to really even approach you. So it's
And
kind of
Gacy's creepy stare and smile, and then Harlan just staring there. He's all alone in the locker room.
exactly. So I'm sure he just wanted to get out of there, but I think that would be a really interesting addition if all three of them, because it seems to me that Draco Anthony has a bit of a heel to him. Like we saw in his debut when he like snatched up the Andre Chase University flag and was stomping on it, showing disrespect to that. He's a big fan of Pete Dunne, who he fought. Let me go back to
Yeah.
yeah, like Pete Dunne is like it seemed like to me like he was a big fan of him from like how he was talking to him.
Oh yeah,
And
but
Pete
like
Dunne,
right after that little locker room, they kind of came up. He's like, "Hey man, I'm really looking forward to our match tonight." And
yeah,
yeah, he's just like, "Get out of here." But with
yeah,
the
Pete
the
Dunne
Harlow
doesn't
and
care.
Gacy, I didn't see that as him trying to recruit him. Honestly, I think that's a very
Hmm.
interesting take. When I saw that, I was just thinking it was more creepy Gacy and Harlan walking around trying to push their inclusive and hey, I'm better than you. You can be as good as me gospel that he's been preaching for the last like
I would
4 months.
agree. I would agree if I'm gonna skip ahead some and I'm gonna show the clip, because not the clip but the slide, because it was honestly like I had originally thought that too, but they were watching him.
Yeah.
See that happen? You know, so they're clearly they have eyes on him for some reason. And I'm really thinking that it's just because they see something in him that they want to add to, you know, their dynamic. And, you know, I'm just curious. I'm curious to see what exactly it is. And you can kind of see a little bit of why they would want that, because I mean, Drago Anthony kind of showed out a little bit. Took his like idol to town a little bit, showing massive strength.
Yeah, he did, man. And I thought it was great. He came when that match started, he came out and tried to work Dunne with some of his own technical kind of wrist locks and twisting his arms.
Yeah.
And then at one point, Dunne kind of looked at him like, what do you think you're doing? That's my stuff.
Yeah.
And just put him in the hurt multiple times on both arms. Weird angles, just working those fingers, what he's just known for.
Exactly.
And taught him a lesson.
What there's a clip of just that. Like you see him like stepping on his fingers, about to break them. And then he was like, I don't know what you think you're doing, and stomped on his fingers and kicked him in the head. It was like, yeah, that's my thing, buddy. Like you're not here to do that to me. I'm here to do that to you.
Yeah.
So
I loved it. I thought it was great. And again, you know, he's a vet. He's a Marine. So my father was a Marine, so I got a soft spot to begin with. And who doesn't love a vet? And the guy can fight, man. And he's got the moves.
He does. He's just too new right now. You know what I mean? And he's gonna learn, because Pete Dunne is a hell of a person to take on, and he let him have it. He did come back and really started putting the hurt on him, you know. And it was also interesting because, you know, he called out Tony D'Angelo like before the match, and then he showed up with that crowbar trying to attack him, and he just dismantled Tony D'Angelo, like threw him away, like it was nothing.
Light work.
Went back into the ring to finish off Drago Anthony, got the pin like it was nothing. Like this guy was on a roll.
But he has that physique too, man. He's not a big guy, but he is just like, you know, core strength, cock strong, you know, like country strong. I knew a kid back that's like that too. He's just weird strong. You don't expect it. It's just like genetic freak. And he has that. It kind of reminds me of like Brad Pitt's character in Fight Club. You know, just that brawler, can take it out and loves it. Just a little sadistic, a little bit of a sadomasochist, and gets off on it. You know, not only hurting people, but also getting hurt.
That's actually his, like, I think that he has a nickname that really suits him, the Bruiserweight. You know what I mean? Because, like, he literally is just in there to fight. He doesn't matter what damage he takes. He just knows he's going to go in there and do you much worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he did a great finisher. I forgot what they call it, like his signature move. But it was pretty much just like a stunner, sort of like a DDT or an RKO. But then what about like after that? He sends Tony up the ramp, kind of running, goes on the other side.
To like choke him out.
Yeah.
You see, he breaks the fingers, pulls him back. He's like, what are you doing? Like, get up.
And then leaves, goes to the other side of the ring, goes under there, and just pulls out everything he can find underneath that ring and tosses it in there. And it's like, okay, you want to do this? We're going to have an all weapons match. And there's just, I mean, he pulled out a toolbox that had a sledgehammer and like screwdrivers. And,
I'm so excited for that match, bro. I'm going to be completely honest. That's going to be a really fun one, because you like the fact that he was like, we're going to tape all the weapons to the steel cage match. Like, we're going to end this. That is going to be an insane match. I'm expecting blood, like broken bones. It's going to be intense.
Yeah, man. So not only is it going to be a weapons match, but it's also going to be a cage match. So in next week, I mean, we really have to go to this one. I mean, this is going to be a banger for sure.
The banger is definitely the best word for it. I don't know when they're gonna like put that, like where in the fight card it's gonna be, but if they start it up like that, dude, that's going to be insane.
You know, NXT kind of likes to do that. They have really good matches to start it off, and usually have a great main event. So they really do kind of do that. And they allow blood.
The talent, the talent that they have though is immense. They have so much to work with right now.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. There's so much talent in NXT, women's division, men's division. Braun Breaker is just amazing. Ciampa is awesome. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan. There's a ton of great talent in there.
So much entertainment. I think like we haven't seen this much in a minute, and all of these guys can honestly get, a chance in like the spotlight. Like that's an honest opinion. Like
Yeah.
these guys, if they all were to just have an episode on Raw or SmackDown, it wouldn't lose anything. It would be just as entertaining, and it would just bring them kind of the spotlight that I think that they deserve, just off of how they've been competing this month
Oh,
or
yeah,
last month,
man.
I should
And
say.
and they all have such great personalities. They're all dynamic. The LA Knight and Waller, they're both of them just so dynamic, but great personalities. They would fit really well. And I mean, they're good too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just this whole episode just it put me in such a great mood, man. It was a great episode, and probably one of the better ones I've seen in a while in
I definitely agree.
all of WWE.
Yeah, yeah, they're crapping on WWE hard right now.
I
NXT is
did check out
is
that
killing it,
GCW match though, man. That was
man.
insane.
I told you,
Wow.
that was probably the best match.
Wow,
That's
man.
probably the best event that I've seen, hands down.
Some great
I
talent
gave
over
it
there.
5 stars, bro. I had to.
I don't blame you.
That was my first 5 stars. I had to do it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we
Man.
digress. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna
Get
go
back
too
into-
far, but anybody who hasn't seen it, watch it.
Yes.
Watch it.
Fight
I'm not gonna
fans.
say anything further, and then you
Watch
can
it.
watch my review of it. It is awesome. That was a great event that they put on. I can't wait for the next one that they do. But
Yeah.
moving on to we got to see LA Knight Sangha.
Yeah.
Because he has a lot of animosity towards Grayson Waller. You see him pointing. You can't even see Grayson Waller. He's kind of hiding behind the ref there. But we all know who the real target is. He just knows who he has to get in front of right now to face him.
Yeah, this guy's massive. 6'8", 300 and I think he said 40 pounds. Just
ridiculous,
huge, man.
Yeah.
And he was a much better wrestler than I was expecting, because just because you're big doesn't mean you're a good wrestler. I'm not saying I want to fight you. That's a huge guy. But big guys like that, a lot of times can be really clumsy and lanky, and you can use that to your advantage as a smaller guy.
Yeah, but you can kind of see it. Like LA Knight tried a lot of things in the beginning, and it really didn't have that much damage. Like all it kind of did was make him buckle a little bit, but Sangha just kind of just ate him, came back and was just beating the crap out of LA Knight for a good portion of the match. It was a pretty rough showing for a little bit for LA Knight. He's just getting ridiculed by Grayson Waller, just talking trash the entire time, while like Sanga's just taking him to town,
Oh yeah, he was handing him a butt whooping every time. I think he tried to set up that BTL or BKT. I think is his signature move, which is pretty much an RKO. And he just stood on it. Everything he tried to land, he wasn't able to. He was getting completely overwhelmed. And I loved Waller, man. He's probably one of the best S-talkers. Even like when he was coming out with him, he was like dancing behind him with like this nanny boo-boo kind of attitude. Like, haha, come and get me. Haha, you can't touch me. It cracks me up. I love it.
I'm telling you, man, he's a fun heel. Nobody likes him. We love to hate him. Like it's just that kind of dynamic to where he makes sense as a heel. And you can kind of see it here, like the tide started to shift in LA Knight. He started getting some momentum, and you see Grayson Waller doing what Grayson Waller does best, trying to cheat. He was taking the turnbuckle off, and it backfired horrifically.
Yeah, so I really think he was trying to get the ref's attention. So, but yeah, it ended up LA Knight just tossed this giant man. I mean, really flung him into the corner, and he ate that turnbuckle pretty hard, man. And then right after that, he hit him with I think it was a big drop kick right after that, right?
Yeah, put him out.
And then boom, 1, 2, 3, and Waller was just completely upset. He was
furious,
so taken away.
He immediately went to fight him right after. Like as soon as the pin happened, he ran in, just started brawling with him, started fighting, and I didn't expect anything less from Waller, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
But it's LA Knight, bro. you already know what he's gonna do to you, and he's been waiting. So he finally got a little bit more, aggression out on Grayson Waller, slammed him to the ground, dismantled him. And
Yeah,
that's
he
still
caught
only a
him.
taste of what we're gonna get if they ever do fight.
They've had a couple scuffles here and there, but Waller was still pretty new and learning because he was a boxer. He has a boxer background. So like learning how to get in that ring and use it to your advantage. And he's grown fast and he's grown to be a very good wrestler. And to see kind of LA Knight, he reminds me a lot, like when I was watching this, it kind of reminded me of Rocky. I was like, this guy's just getting pummeled. And then he comes back with this second wind and finishes up. So it was a
Yeah,
poor move for Waller to jump in there when he was just finished and still on that high and that pump. And he caught him a
yeah.
couple times, man. Like they squared up and he caught him once or twice on the chin. Nice
He
little pop.
definitely did, but I mean, LA Knight is just, I mean, he's a beast. And I think it's messed up though, that Grayson Waller then, said
Oh, the
backstage, he was
threat.
like, I'm not, I'm gonna just send you to jail for Vengeance Day. And it's like, come on, man, you're such a punk.
It's so
Don't do
corny.
that.
I mean, for a
Yeah,
fighter, that's pretty weak.
it is exactly. That's exactly what it is. It is weak. And Keith says LA Knight for future WWE title reign. No, I disagree. I got to disagree with you there. I don't see him going that far. Not in the
Main
big
roster.
leagues.
He's
I don't
got the
know.
physique. I don't know if he's got the mic skills. He kind of has that
And
look, but he doesn't wrestle enough, man. He needs a lot more experience if he's going to get to that level.
where he's at right now, no. I got to say, right now, no. I see if he does a major shift in character development, a major shift. I'm talking like scraps who he is right now and does something completely different almost. Then I think he might have a shot because, like you said, he has the skills. Doesn't have as much he. The people love him, so I feel like
Yeah.
whatever he turns into, they would love. But I think as of right now, and how he presents, it won't translate that well in the main roster. Out of all the other people in NXT, I don't have him on the higher list. I honestly have Grayson Waller making a bigger splash in the big leagues than LA
He's
Knight
already
does.
made a
This
few
is just
cameos.
entertaining. You said
Yeah,
what?
he's made a few cameos already on WWE with AJ Styles. And I kind of agree. He would almost have to do the Drew McIntyre kind of thing, go from that pretty boy kind of thing into a whole new persona and bring
Yeah,
out something else that's inside of him. And Drew McIntyre did
exactly.
that. He was that pretty boy, and then he pulled out that inner Scottish warrior and just turned into this beast. And if LA Knight is able to do that, find that inner kind of core person that he is and bring that out rather than just kind of this pretty tame, hey, I'm here to wrestle, I'm here to fight kind of guy.
Yeah, man. Like I completely agree with that. I see like there's potential. Just I don't have him getting that far yet. We'll see what he does. Just right
Yeah,
now,
save this
no.
for your little montage of predictions.
There you go. I still I might be wrong with him, and I'm fine with being wrong with him because I don't know. I'm a fan, but I'm not the biggest fan of him. I honestly I'm more into watching Grayson Waller than I am LA Knight. You know?
I would agree with that. And so far,
Yeah,
my favorite right now are the Creed brothers and Braun Breaker. You want to talk about
yeah,
instant WWE talent? It's Braun Breaker. He's there.
yeah.
He's ready. He could go
He
now.
is.
He's
He
got it
really
all,
is.
man. He's got
It's
the
looking
mic
like that might
skills.
happen though.
It
Get
can, man.
into it though. Yeah. Oh, actually, we can get into it right now because
Oh,
yeah. How about this? Because you saw they're doing the contract signing because next week, they're finally Escobar. He's ready to
yeah.
fight for that title,
Talk about
and
a manic contract signing. This was nuts. Like it had so much going on. This was very entertaining. Probably one of the better contract signings I've watched.
definitely. And what made it like
Yeah,
so good was the fact that we got to see Dolph Ziggler make an appearance to
man.
NXT. And
I
that's just
watched
what I'm
that
saying, man.
and
Like
I
just
instantly regretted not going. I was like, oh man,
I
could have
thought you
got to
were
see the
there.
Creed brothers, MSK, Ziggler showed up. Just a great contract signing. I mean, it was awesome. It's you had Ciampa come out too, but I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Ziggler was talking mad trash.
I mean,
Like,
apparently Braun Breaker's been saying a lot of stuff on Twitter, and it's clearly agitated Dolph Ziggler to the point where he
oh,
tried to humble him a little bit.
Is that what stirred all this? I'm not a Twitter guy. I don't follow it. I know they brought it up, but I figured that was pretty normal with all wrestlers. Um, I didn't realize he was like
There's a
he
lot
got
of
under his
side stuff
skin.
that goes on Twitter. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. There's a lot of info that gets brought up in the wrestling universe on Twitter. I don't know why. It's just I think that Twitter is just that kind of social media thing where it's just unfiltered like pandemonium all the time. I love it. So
Yeah,
like yeah,
I'll stick to
Braun Breaker's
the
been
kick ass and coffee with the fight kitties and leave
yeah,
them to the Twitter work.
feel you. It's a lot to get into, but man, it's fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to watch. And Braun Breaker said a lot of stuff to Dolph Ziggler to the point where Dolph Ziggler had to come out and kind of set the record straight on him a little bit. And I
Hey,
mean, it sounds like we're gonna see a future match, but it seems like this is a possible way to test the waters on if Braun Breaker can handle that bigger spotlight if he can go up. You know what I mean?
well, if he was stirring that pot on Twitter like that, that only proves my point. He's ready because he's
Yeah,
got the skills, man. He's great. He's a
he
great
definitely
wrestler.
does.
And he's strong. He's the full package, man. He's up and coming, man. And
Yeah.
it was cool to see like Ziggler try to put him in his place, and Braun was still kind of a little humbled a bit. He was just like,
Not
you know,
impressed. Yeah.
not really. He wasn't scared, but he also kind of
Hmm.
had this little. I'm surprised he's here. He
Yeah,
had this
exactly. He was
real
like, "Oh,
look
he
of
actually
shock.
came up." Yeah, but it seemed like he was more entertained by it than he was like worried. He was just like, "Oh, okay, cool. So I am in your head, you know." And I think he even said that. He was
Yeah,
like, "I got you here, and you're all the way in the big leagues." And so the fact that I even brought you down here just shows me like I'm right in your head, you know.
yeah.
So that was
I
kind of cool to
agree. He was
see.
definitely just like, huh, yeah.
Like I didn't even know
It
I had
was
that
really
power over
cool,
you.
man.
It definitely was, and I think it was also funny because Dolph Ziggler kind of is teasing the idea of fighting him for the belt instead of Santos Escobar, and Tomas Ciampa finally says something for the first time about he just finally comes out and says it like I'm not about to just sit here and wait while you guys all fight for the title when I haven't gotten my rematch yet. Like he
Yeah,
finally kind of says like you need to sit out because there's not even a real reason for you to be here. You're just butthurt. Like,
yeah. It
it
was
was just
great. The
funny to
whole time
see.
the crowd's like chanting, fatal, four-way, which would be awesome, or a three-way death match. They were chanting that. And then, Ciampa or I think it was Escobar is like, you don't, this isn't your home.
What's
You don't
going
belong
on?
here. You don't go
Yeah,
here. And then the crowd starts chanting, you
dude,
don't go here.
it was so
It's
funny
awesome.
because Santos Escobar was kind of quiet for most of it. And I think that he was just like, what the hell is happening? And then he even said,
Yeah.
he was like, what is going on? Like, this is my moment. I finally said that I want to
Yeah.
fight him. And now everybody wants to come out and have their piece. Like, no, get up out of here, bro. This is my time. It was just funny. Like, I
Oh,
think
I
that this
loved
was
it.
a really entertaining segment. And I love that it broke out in a brawl. You got to see Ciampa really take it to Dolph Ziggler because Dolph Ziggler started mouthing off pretty
Yeah, he
disrespectful
did.
to him.
Oh,
So
he was
Ciampa let him have it.
disrespecting. He was
Yeah,
all,
and
yeah, all
then
of your 100 Florida fans, this is your home, whatever. He stood up and booted him. He knocked him right out of that chair and out of the ring. He fell flat on his ass.
he's like, when are you gonna actually do something? Blah blah blah. And that was enough.
He's like, I'll show
Ciampa
you.
had enough of the trash talk. And then Legado del Fantasma, of course, took the opportunity while Braun Breaker was distracted to jump Braun Breaker, and you see Santos Escobar kind of behind him, and he started celebrating it like this was a win already for
Nah.
Braun Breaker to then dismantle them like he always does, and you can see the oh shit look on Santos Escobar like uh-oh,
Yeah, he
this
had his
this didn't
back
go as
turned,
planned.
like cheering the crowd. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was an attempted jumping because Braun Breaker ate everything they had, came up, tossed them out of
No
the
nothing.
ring, and Escobar turned around. Oh my God.
Yeah, was not expecting that at all. I don't even know how he didn't expect it because this has happened every single time. But before he could do any damage to Santos Escobar, Legado comes back and starts jumping him again. You know, just like these two are like gnats. They're just like annoying little mosquitoes on Braun Breaker. They just refuse to let like him get a fair shake on
Yep.
Santos Escobar. And I hope that this isn't like a preview of what's gonna happen next week in their fight, but I feel like it is.
Well, then it should go DQ. And if there's the sneaky stuff, I think Ciampa's going to be coming out to kind of save the day because he wants to go up against Braun Breaker. And I mean, they ended up tossing him into that table and destroying the table, and Braun was just out, man. And he just kept running his mouth.
Exactly. Santos Escobar is just standing over him talking about, like, now it's my time. Now you see, like, I've been telling you, so be ready because I'm here now. And I'm not going to take anything away from Santos Escobar. He is a great wrestler, but I hate interferences to the point where you don't know how a match would actually end up.
Yeah.
And I know he's going to roll in with all three of them. And that's just going to create chaos and pandemonium. And then we're not going to get that clean match to see who actually is the champ. Because if we're being honest, Braun Breaker has been kind of unstoppable.
Yeah.
I think that Santos Escobar can win against him without the help of his friends and his allies.
Oh, no way. And count on Ciampa being there. He's going to be there outside, keeping those shenanigans to a minimum.
You think Dolph Ziggler will come back too?
Ooh.
Everybody kind of wants a piece of Braun Breaker now.
Yeah. That could be even more shenanigans.
Because there's so many. If Ciampa comes out, yeah, he kind of handled both of the team of Legado del Fantasma, but
oh yeah,
that's still a lot to handle, especially in a title match. So I can see Dolph Ziggler kind of coming back for a second and putting the beat down on, like trying to help keep this match fair.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it go clean. I really do. But if it is clean, Braun's going to destroy Escobar. Sorry,
yeah,
he's not going to be able to hang. The guy is too strong. He's too fast, and he's in just too good a shape. And he's a brawler, man. He's proved in that cage match a few weeks back that he can take an ass whooping and dish it out.
Yeah. You think it'll be fight of the night?
Fight of the night, Braun and Escobar.
I feel like it has potential, but I don't know. I don't want to say yes just because there's so much other like interesting things that are going to go down on Vengeance Day. Like you still got Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes.
That's going to be a really good match. I think that's going to surprise us. And then we're going to see the Dusty match, right? Is that going to be next week?
Yeah, that's the
MSK
finals. The finals are next week too. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's going to be a really good one too. See, and I think the only thing that's going to make the Escobar and Braun match good is if they do keep it clean. And if they keep it clean, Braun's going to dominate. And if there are like ringside shenanigans, that's going to be entertaining. But I don't know if it's going to be the best of the night.
Yeah, like match-wise, I wouldn't say it's the match of the night, but it's definitely going to be a fun one to watch. Like,
oh yeah,
not taking anything away from it. Oh, I'm gonna give you one because there's another. He had a question for you because I'm not all big in the AEW universe, so you take that one away.
Just one quick thought. Now there's Jay Lethal. What's in the chill? So I guess so. I mean, with Macho Man's style, I don't know. You got to leave that be. Nobody can touch the great Macho Man Randy Savage. Leave that be. That's kind of like wearing somebody else's jersey. I think he has a similar Jay Lethal. He's fought all across the world. He's very, very skilled. And he has a similar attitude, but I don't know if he could pull off that kind of Macho Man, old school 80s kind of roided out, coked out, just alpha male.
That
just
stuff is fun to watch though, bro.
It is. That's what it was. It's just that was the attitude era, man.
Yeah, exactly. It was that era. And I think that right now though, it's kind of interesting because we're in a different era of wrestling than what we grew up in. And it's starting to be a little reminiscent of the attitude era. Just a little bit. Just a little. Like you get kind of a taste of what it was, but it's so vanilla a little bit just because of how censored everything is right now.
Oh, we'll never get that, man. It was so chauvinistic and egotistical. And that's a big reason why we didn't get to see a lot of women's matches. And there are some
Yeah,
really great lady wrestlers out there. I mean, the women's
exactly.
division is stacked. I think across all genres of wrestling.
It
And
is.
that's a big part of like that kind of growth that we've done. And WWE for the longest time kept that sort of stuff suppressed in a very big way. In NJP, New Japan, that was pretty common. Lady fighters have been around for a while, but WWE really kept that suppressed and kept it kind of this ego-driven, egotistical alpha brute match, which is still fun. Don't get me wrong; it's kind of has this gladiatorial feel, where
Right.
now it's a little bit more of a skill. You get to see people evenly matched, and they really
Yeah.
focus on technical stuff and kind of thinking ahead and using your brain rather than just going out there and beating the crap out of each other,
Yeah, no,
which is
I
still fun to
agree.
watch.
I don't know. Well, Earl kind of surprised me with this take on NXT. Think, man, because I don't agree. I'm not disappointed at all with 2.0. Like NXT has been great.
Yeah,
You got to
man.
watch it, man. I don't know if you've been watching, like, because this stuff has been way more entertaining so far than the rest of the WWE universe.
Yes, especially in the last month or two. And I've been watching NXT for about 4 months now, 4 or 5 months. And it's gotten a lot better. And
I've
the
heard.
last
I'll be
month,
honest. Like I've heard a lot of bad things about last year's NXT.
yeah.
Heard that last year was trash. I will give you that. I don't know because I didn't watch last year. All I know is this year, my guy, get into it. I know that they lost a lot of people because even some of my friends were like, no, not watching it. I don't care what you say. And I've been like, I'm telling you, like, thank God I missed last year because I'd probably be in the same boat as them because people are real adamant about their hate on NXT right now. But
And it's
man,
it's
they are
really
showing out.
because I think a lot of the people that were on there have come into their own. They've all gotten a lot better. So
Yeah.
the personalities that are coming out, everybody really finding their style, the wrestling kind of groove, and that takes time. So maybe that was the
If you
case
think
because I
about
didn't
it
watch
too,
last year either.
the worst the after something that's horrible, normally there's a nice bounce back, you know. So I think that if last year's stuff was such a bad dud, they probably learned a whole lot and we're like, okay, we know what we're definitely not doing. We know what we need to do. And I think that they're really starting to win back people who are giving it a chance. So I'm not gonna bash you for your opinion because a lot of people are saying, they're really turned off by what they've seen in the past. But I implore you, give it a shot, man, because this is not the same NXT that like I'm not seeing what y'all are seeing. I'm
Yeah.
not seeing it. This is
Well,
an entirely new thing.
yeah, they turned the
Even Keith
backstage
agrees.
stuff. I'm liking the new NXT. Yeah, same.
Yeah. Should Roderick Strong join his old teammates in AEW? Uh
I'd see that. Him and I think it's what
yeah.
Trent Reznor wrestled.
I
Um,
see. I see I don't see Diamond Mine Group staying a thing just because of how the Creed brothers are. Creed brothers are the show. If the Creed
yeah,
brothers
not to
leave,
mention you
Diamond
have
Mine Group is
Imperium.
gone.
You have Imperium coming in as the big tag team group now. Like they're the
Yeah.
big kind of name in NXT and the Bullies, and that was always Diamond Mines kind of thing. And I'd have to agree with that. They're up
Uh,
and coming. The Creed brothers, they're going to steal the show.
yeah. The Creed brothers are,
So
in my opinion, I think they're going to be the breakout people of the Diamond Mine Group. And once they leave and get the call up, it's going to be, like that's going to kind of be the end of it, the end of that group. And
yeah,
I mean, so I could see that happening, but I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. Not saying that
who do you
that's
think
that's
pays better?
necessarily a bad thing, huh?
Who do you think pays better, AEW or WWE?
WWE. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
even if it's NXT, he's probably
Yeah,
wrestling
like
less and making more.
exactly. But
So
we kind of got sidetracked, man, because we had another really good match with Dakota Kai and Saray. I called that
so
one.
yeah,
I'm a mystic, bro. I said it. said it. I couldn't wait to say it on the show. I was like, how funny that I even called it again.
Yeah, they definitely they gave us a great little intro with her too, man. You know, when she comes through the smoke, she kind of has like that schoolgirl, like her old personality,
Outfit.
and then she comes through with that family heirloom and just came out and was a totally different person. I loved it. The transformation, it really was symbolic to who she is, because she got a lot of
Dude.
hype when she came into NXT about 6 months ago, and then left for a while and came back. So she has a lot to prove. This was a must win, and Dakota Kai is a strong wrestler. She's proven herself.
Is a strong wrestler. I'm gonna be honest though, man. I don't like the gimmick.
Yeah.
I may be one of the only people, but I don't
Oh,
like
what?
the whole gimmick with Saray. I'm not a fan of it.
It's fun, man. It's very kind of like a big part of, I think, where she comes from. You know, it's a heritage
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah,
she's
no,
giving homage
I
to that.
understand it. I'm not entertained. Does that make sense? Like I'm
Just
like,
yeah, it's not your groove.
yeah,
A
it's
little
just not my
cheesy.
groove. I don't like the outfit. I don't like the heirloom. I feel like they could have made the heirloom look better. It's just like I'm not a fan of the whole look. But that's just me. I'm not taking anything away from her as a wrestler because this was a really, really good match. It wasn't
She
an
did
extremely
great.
long match, but Saray was proving herself all through
Hmm.
this match. And
She
I
did
mean,
great.
credit to Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is not trash, and this was a must win for her as well. That's what made it so intense. But Saray was just, she was a different beast right now.
Man, she nailed that tornado DDT and just rocked that poor girl. I mean, there were
Yeah,
some great moves. This was a very
very
fun
good
match,
moves.
and I'm glad Saray came away with a big win.
Yeah, same. Like, but that tornado DDT that you're saying, I mean, it folded Dakota Kai.
She
Like it
landed
was a
weird.
wrap for her. Yeah, like look at like it's kind of like a Family Guy character how she landed. It just was like her body was fully broken up after that slam, you know. But
Yeah. She's you're supposed to kind of try to land on your back and shoulders, and she really landed right here, kind of weird and
on
awkward,
her neck,
and she
yeah.
torqued it,
So
man.
she definitely told her. And I know she's feeling that today, and she'll probably
Oh
feel
yeah.
it tomorrow too. But I mean, again, credit to Saray, man. She's doing what she has to do to prove herself in her little comeback run that she's doing, and maybe this knocks some sense into Dakota Kai with her, her little dark place that she's in right now because it's not helping her.
That's a very good point. You know, I even think the announcers were kind of talking about that. It's almost a different fighter as of the last few months. Her head's really not been in the game. So hopefully
Yeah,
this is a wake
but
up call.
yeah, because it's not necessarily bad for her to change how her style has been just because of everything that's happened and transpired. But at the end of the day, you can't just be this negative Nancy. Nobody's gonna want to see that.
Yeah.
It's getting tired, I guess
Yeah.
is the best way to put it. So it's time to, get up out your funk and get back to yourself in some way. Be back
Hmm.
to that entertaining like wrestler that we're used to, man.
And start chasing that championship.
Yeah. You got to get back on that horse. You can't just let Raquel Gonzalez run this show. You're not even doing nothing. You're just proving her point.
Dude.
So,
Especially, yeah. Speaking of her, man, she is huge.
no, she definitely is. I see her getting the call up soon, too. There's a lot of NXT talent that I see like they're going to get the call up very, very soon. This is a very, very talented roster. I got to say, man, this was an awesome night. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, that MSK match versus Idris Eno and Malik Blade. This was a great match, and I'm so hurt my boys didn't get the Cinderella story.
Man, you know, and Blade, he really showed up. I've seen him wrestle a few times, but it was always against someone about his size. So I didn't realize like how big he really is. He wrestled Braun Breaker, and he pretty much got destroyed. He beat him up pretty quick. Um, but seeing him go up against MSK in this, I just you really see the size and how athletic he is. He did fantastic. I was so proud of him in this. He really showed us he has a lot of skill and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he definitely did. But MSK, man, I think it was the experience. I think experience was the deciding factor. I
Yeah.
don't know how long Malik Blade and Idris have been a tag team. It seemed like it was kind of just put together for the Dusty Rose Cup, and it just worked out.
Yeah,
But
I think that's really what
MSK,
happened. But you know,
yeah, it just worked
MSK,
out really well.
Yeah, MSK, they've had that experience. They've been there. They won it last year.
Yep.
And oh yeah, that's a
Speaking of
great
Malik
shot,
Blade,
man.
I was about to say, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about him, so I just wanted to put that one up.
Yeah, see, this is it, man. I've never seen Malik fly out like that. So he's really showing us he's moving up. He's got a lot of skill. I loved watching him, man.
Yeah.
He really impressed me in this match. And I kind of called MSK from the beginning. And once they landed that Doomsday, or was it no, it
Oh
was
man.
yeah, it was
That little
like a
duo
triple
move
D.
that they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, man, that was rough to watch because it broke my heart. It was like, yeah, that's the end of that. And
Yeah.
MSK is moving
I think
on
it
to
was
the
a
finals.
Doomsday device or something like that. It was three
It's
Ds,
called. That joint
but
was
man, it
crazy.
was cool to see, and that gave them the
That was
match,
the
man.
end. Yeah,
And
just
they move
ruined my
on.
prediction. But I mean, I knew once the matchups came out, I was like, MSK is probably gonna go all the way.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, I kind of think that this is the dream matchup for a tag team match right now. This is
Yes.
gonna be awesome. I'm
I'm pumped for
excited for
this one.
this.
So I'm
Yeah,
calling Creed. I'm calling
I'm
the
calling
brothers
Creed right with
Creed
you.
all the way.
Creed. At first, I was against it. I had MSK going the whole way. Brothers have shocked me. I am a 100% fan. I think they're gonna go all the way. This is no way not theirs to take.
They have just as much experience together wrestling as tag team as MSK, if not more. They have the size advantage. I think they
Mhm.
have the experience advantage. Maybe not necessarily in NXT, but overall wrestling experience, I think
There
they
you
are
go.
far superior to MSK. And I think that's
Yeah,
what's
I
going to
think
give them the
that
win.
I think that their talent and experience before NXT is just carrying them, man, because everybody
Yeah.
thinks that these are just some rookies, but these guys are brawlers. They're great.
Yeah,
And
man.
like their intelligence in the ring just like it shows that. I
Yeah.
think that this match is going to be a huge, huge like draw. This is going to be a really fun one to watch.
I'm really excited. I just got goosebumps thinking about it, and I'm not even lying. This is going to be a really, really good one, and great things to come. I know we talked about the Creed brothers right off the bat, and took up a good 10 minutes of the first episode. But I, mean,
I
I
don't
just
care,
I
man.
love talking about them. I mean, they're great.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't care. I'll talk about them all day, man, because the Creed brothers are a big attraction right now to NXT, and there's a reason. Like they're really really good. So I see them making a really big splash and then moving on very quickly, just because they're that good. They're that talented. This is just a pit stop. So
And they're
enjoy it
so
while you
young.
can.
They have great endurance. They're really young. Just nothing but potential. I'm ready, and that's going to be a great tag team match, man. I'm saying I really, really want to go next week. That's going to be such a great episode.
I get you. I definitely get you. So, last thing, we're on the last one, man. The main
Yeah,
event, that title match between Kaylee Ray and Mandy Rose. You know she's been wanting it. We've been wanting to see it finally. And it was good that it finally happened. And I'm so glad that backstage you got to see, Persia and Indy take out Toxic Attraction because you know that they were going to do something dirty. So it forced her to run out like by herself. And that was clearly not the plan. You could see it all in her face. She was so
yep.
annoyed by it. But
And
I
she's
was like,
it's
good.
that mental disadvantage as well. She's kind of worried about her girls, but they had it coming. They jumped the two of them in the backstage. In the locker room. There's a big fight and stuff before that, so they had it coming. It wasn't a sneaky move. It was just some payback, and
I
that
know,
really
but I
kind of
think that it
turned the
worked
tides.
out.
Say what?
It did. I know. I said I definitely think it worked out, and it definitely worked out in Kaylee Ray's favor. I
Hmm.
mean, she put a beat down. She couldn't wait. I mean, we knew what was going to happen. We knew that this is exactly what was going to happen when they finally stepped in the ring, and she was making her pay for a big portion of this match, man. Just beating her
Yeah,
senseless. There was no break. Like I know Mandy Rose was trying to get out of that ring, get some kind
a
of
couple
breather. Kaylee
times.
Ray just followed her, just nonstop was on
Just a
her ass, not
fiery
allowing any break.
man. She really did not stop, man. Just a fiery, spunky little firecracker all over the ring. And Mandy could not get away, man. That was a great takedown.
Yeah,
She didn't even see that coming, caught her blindsided, and just took
like
her butt down.
had Kaylee Ray winning this with ease, and I think everybody did. But Mandy Rose, give her credit. She was not going to lose this without a fight, and she really took it to her. It was like giving her a good beatdown near the end there. Like, just was not letting up herself. It was like, you're not taking this from me. And I
Yeah,
think she also had a whole lot of anger and annoyance from, all the harassment that she got last week in order for this match to happen. I mean, she mentioned it in the beginning when she was talking about how long it took to get the spaghetti out of her hair and
yeah.
all that. So, I mean, I'm sure she had a lot of animosity. And once that fire sparked in her, it was much more of a even match.
Yeah, and with her style of fighting, she is more of a brawler. She really just
Yeah.
kind of gets some big cross bodies, and just tries to go for stuff like that versus technical work. So we didn't see a whole lot of that in that match, but that's not really her style. And it was
Yeah.
kind of working but she has to get in the right headspace. She's known for winning because of her girls, the whole toxic thing. So one on
Yeah.
one, she's not the best, even though she's the current champion. I wouldn't say she's the best. She's definitely one of
No,
the
it's
prettiest in there, but not the best wrestler.
no, I mean, you're completely right. And the issue is, I mean, how she's able to keep it is because of her team, because they, as you see,
Yep.
saved her.
Yep.
They continuously save her. And somehow, I don't know what happened backstage. I kind of want to know what happened with Indy and Persia for them to come out like near the end there, because Kaylee Ray was sure to win it if she landed that.
Yeah.
But
That was the only thing that saved it. She was going to come in with that big front flip, the sunset flip. Or no, that's not a sunset flip. It's a swan dive flip or something like that. Anyway, and then Rose was able to roll away and really just not get out from underneath her, because if she would have even stayed there, Gigi, when she pushed her off, she
yeah,
still would have fell on top of Rose. So
yeah,
she was able to have the kind of ring sense to get away, and got that pin afterwards. So again,
yep.
toxic attraction, Gigi kind of saving her butt and
Yeah,
able to
because
retain
it
that
was not
championship.
going her way. I think we all knew that Kaylee Ray was coming and getting that title back.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Toxic Attraction, man, if she didn't have her crew, this is what I'm saying. The same thing with Escobar Santos and his team, bro. If there's anything that's going to save them and keep them in that title race, it's going to be the interferences.
Yeah. It's an advantage. It's not a clean advantage, but it's definitely
No.
something to take into consideration.
Yeah, I mean it's part of the game,
Yeah.
It's part of the game, so it's just something that you have to be mindful of. And I mean, we knew that the fight wasn't over even after the pin. Like, you could tell between these girls, it was going to be still some animosity. Like, she took Kaylee Ray's bat,
Yeah.
was about to use it on her. Like, it
How
was
dirty
it
is
was about
that?
to get bad. Yeah. I
Imagine
mean,
getting hit with your own bat.
completely honest, if I was getting chased for weeks with that bat and I finally beat you, I might take your bat too and kind of scare you a little. I might do a little bit of dirtiness because, man, I mean, Kaylee Ray has been like bullying the crap out of her. Not saying that she's not right to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, picking
like,
that championship match, picking a fight.
exactly. So after everything that Mandy Rose has been through with her, I can give her I give her the nod for it. I understand. I'll turn a blind eye to it. I'm not mad. I get it.
I
But Io
instantly thought of
Shirai,
uh the Reno 911 scene where he's like fighting the guy, he gets a shoe. I will not hesitate to beat your ass with your own shoe. And it's just like, you imagine getting your ass beat with your own bat. Like, that
dude,
would suck.
yeah, it's rough. But Io Shirai, man, what you think? I'm so glad that she came out.
Oh man, that was a huge surprise. They kind of tease us a little bit backstage when they're like saying, "Hey, you have to find another partner that's just as crazy as you." And honestly, that was kind of my first thought. I was like, that'd be a good tag team matchup. And she came
We
in and
kind of
threw
saw
like
it.
that great, like, I don't even know, an open hand uppercut and like caught them all in the nose, like she's trying to kill them. Like,
That's a gunting move right there. That's supposed to break your nose. That's
yeah,
all that
I heard
is.
that's like you could break the nose and like almost shove it up into the skull if you do it the right way. But yeah,
Yep.
it's she came in just like throwing them to everyone. She was like Oprah, like, you get one, you get one, you get one.
I mean, Io Shirai is a monster in that
I
ring,
love her.
and I'm so glad that she finally was open to getting a teammate. And seeing her and Kaylee Ray is going to be probably the most dangerous development in the Women's Dusty Rhodes Cup.
Yeah,
That
man.
is going to be insane. And I expect Toxic Attraction to be there. You know,
Oh
we
yeah.
got Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade is there. And that
Hmm.
I before this, I had Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez probably going all the way. Now, Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray, bro,
Yeah,
that's
man.
that's a game changer.
That's a stout tag team right there. You talk about a couple crazy ladies that have a lot of power and skill, and if they can kind of get their mojo together and start practicing and really getting a good flow, that's going to be a dangerous tag team.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna call it early. If they're on different sides of the bracket, I got Cora Jade, Raquel Gonzalez going against Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, they're
Yeah.
two of the strongest women tag teams in there. I can't even think of somebody else that could hang. Um,
Yeah, I just think that that would be a really fun tag team match to watch too. Just like with their different styles, I could see Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzalez going at it pretty hard. And I
yeah,
also like
and then
the
Kaylee
the
Ray
fight
and
between Cora Jade and Kaylee Ray. I
yeah,
think that
that's
that would be a real fun match.
that's a good matchup. You know, you talk about a pretty equal match on both sides. It's gonna make for an entertaining match.
Most definitely. But man, so after everything that we said, I want to let's just get right into these ratings, man. So you
Yeah.
already know how we do it, man. Doing 1 to 5 stars. 5 stars, fight forever.
Yep.
4 stars, this is awesome. 3 stars, you still got it. Two
Yep.
stars, what? And 1 star, boring. Do not watch. We're not gonna even entertain it. Just watch us, and we'll make it better for you.
Yeah.
So what you got, man?
This it earned a solid 4. I mean, this was a great episode from start to finish. It had everything you wanted. Even like the backstage stuff, which I'm not a big fan of, still really gave us a good tease. It made sense. It gave us more of a clue of what's going to happen rather than just like silly nonsense backstage of bickering or jokes, or just a time killer. And every single one of these matches was great. It was entertaining. And like I said, I mean, that contract signing was probably one of the more entertaining contract signings I've ever watched.
Yeah.
It had surprises. It was nonstop. We saw some great wrestling. We saw some upsets, and we had some laughs. So I mean, this was a great
Yeah.
episode all the way around. Blew Raw and SmackDown the last 2 episodes out of the water.
The water. 100%. I agree with everything that you're saying, man. I got to give it that 4 stars. I don't know what they have to improve to get the 5 stars, but it's just like it's missing one ingredient. So we'll see what Vengeance Day does, man, because I mean, Vengeance Day is looking like it's about to go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm truly excited for NXT. I'm really having a great time with it. Earl, man, you're being a little bit of a hater, bro. I don't like it. Give it give it a chance. Give
Earl,
it
did
a
you even
chance,
watch it?
bro. No, he didn't watch it. There's no way he watched it. He sounds
Check
like
it
I
out,
did.
man.
Yeah, he sounds like I did yesterday about that Guerrero comment with Rey Mysterio. I think there's some hurt behind that, man, but you got to give it a chance. I understand the trauma. You got to work it out, though, bro. It'll be fine. I'm
It's
telling
so
you,
much
this is
better, man.
different.
Give it
It's
a
so
shot.
much better. Listen to Keith. 5 star performance. It was great. It was awesome. I'm going to still say 4 stars, though, but I understand what you're saying. Wonder what's going to
Yeah.
happen leading up to WrestleMania weekend. In terms of NXT?
What? Oh, leading up? Oh,
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
know.
it's the road. I don't know if we're gonna see any WrestleMania development in
Yeah,
NXT.
that's too far, I think. If you want me to give one of my mystic predictions, I don't know. I don't got one for you, bro. It's too far. It's way too
Yeah.
far. You got to give it a little bit more time. The only thing that I can see, um, I would say there's gonna be some stuff with the Creed brothers for sure. Um,
You think
Clearly
that
they're
quick,
working with
huh?
something for Braun Breaker. I mean, but that's the thing. I don't know. I don't think for
Yeah.
WrestleMania. I
No,
think that
definitely not.
I don't see anybody in NXT really getting that kind of call up. That's kind of crazy. If that was to happen, that would be a little insane. Maybe if
Yeah.
Riddle gets if Riddle somehow wins the elimination chamber, maybe MSK would kind of like be there for as like a cheerleading kind of thing. because like they have that kind of alliance. I don't see anything like them getting a match. Nobody in
No, no,
NXT
definitely not a
is there
match.
yet.
I mean,
Yeah,
you might
or an
see a
appearance.
cameo. We saw it with Rose in WrestleMania,
Yeah,
giving Otis a big kiss.
yeah.
So there might be a cameo, some screen time, but I don't definitely not a match, man. I don't see anything like
Yeah.
that. Maybe some of the side stuff because WrestleMania is huge. There's a lot of other stuff. I'm sure
I mean,
NXT
it's
is
2
gonna be
days.
there.
It's 2 whole days. I just
Yeah,
don't know. There's so much other stuff happening in the WWE universe that NXT, I mean, it's unfortunate that it slept on, but these are still the new guys. So giving them that kind of spotlight over, already the new talent that's in Raw and SmackDown, that'd kind of be a little strange. So I don't
yeah.
know if there will be any big major things in terms of NXT doing anything in WrestleMania. But, we'll see. It can happen.
Not a part of the
WWE is kind of
WrestleMania
weird.
event.
Yeah, exactly. But, the WWE storylines have been kind of weird. I don't know what the writers have been doing, but, we'll see. I have no idea. It's hard to make a prediction in terms of that, but,
And
I just don't
it's
see
a
it.
long road to WrestleMania,
Very
man.
long
It's still
road.
really early. We got till
Yeah.
April.
Yeah, exactly. So hit me again in March. I'll probably have a little bit more confidence in giving you an answer, Keith. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, man. I cannot wait for Vengeance Day. That's going to be an amazing event. I'm not going to jinx it again like I did Royal Rumble because I was saying Royal Rumble was going to be 5 stars. So I'm not going to say that for Vengeance Day. I'm just going to keep it organic, but I have
Yeah.
high expectations.
So do I, man. The fact that we're gonna see the Creed brothers, I know I'm crushing, but it's gonna be good. I'm definitely gonna try to go. I'm gonna try to go in person for sure.
Yeah, like look, I'd be right there with you, man. But 2 kids, 2 babies. I can't do it. I wish I'll just
Yeah,
watch it from home. But
I hear you
experience it for me, man. Definitely go. You gotta go.
for sure. I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
make it happen.
yeah, man.
All right, well
But
that's it for this episode, man. You want to add anything?
yeah. Nah, man, I'm good. Like, follow, subscribe, man. As you can see, this is only getting better. I'm having a great time doing this stuff, man. Follow us on everything. Look, like you see the roll. It's been there for the whole hour and
Yeah.
what's it, 7 minutes? These have been getting long, man. But dude, it's just been fun. I'm having a really great time with this stuff. So yeah, just like and follow, subscribe. Definitely add some comments. As you can see, man, if you talk to us, we talk back.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
even after these live streams. So, talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking, what your predictions are. What are you excited to see? That's the stuff that we want to know. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys, man. Until
Yeah.
next time, this is Tijon.
And Billy here. Don't
Keep it
stop
real.
believing. Bye, guys.